Well, good morning, everyone. This is the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. Welcome. It is August the 30th, 2024. Today we have a guest speaker. It's our own Matt Keelan. Is going to talk about tech tips and tricks for job seekers. This is going to be a two-parter. He would be in part one. Hope you brought your computers. I have your maybe an additional computer with you and your phone with you so that you can engage and do some of the things that he's going to talk about today. Really glad to have Matt speak to us. So note that this event is being recorded. We will upload this to the Career USA YouTube channel, and you'll be able to view that in the future. And by appearing in this event, you'll give consent for your name and picture to appear. And note that the chat window is not included in the video. Just a reminder that Jeff Morris is our founder for this group. He has led this group since 2007. He created careerdfw.org and careerusa.org and wrote a book. Jeff is recovering from a fall. For those of you who don't know, he's looking much, much better. He's in rehab, going home next Thursday is the plan. So we are ready to have Jeff come back. In the meantime, Matt Keelan and I have volunteered to be the interim leaders for this group. Glad to have you all aboard with us. So our agenda today is success stories. We got a new item on the agenda with job leads, our 30-second introductions, our committee reports, the career tip of the week, interview success workshop, and then the main event. Okay. Oh, the picture, and then the main event. So do we have any success stories? Any landings? No landings. Any interviews anybody want to talk about? Did you have an interview this week?
I had an interview on Tuesday. It was very interesting. I got it through networking. My friend Jody Dolbert. Jody, are you on? Don't see him. He actually interviewed for this position. It wasn't a fit for him, and so he asked the recruiter to reach out to me. She didn't provide any context, so when I sent her my resume and we went back and forth a couple of times and then had an initial interview on Tuesday. It was only at that time did she say, "Oh, by the way, you were referred." I didn't know it was a networking thing until then. So he gets props, and I actually gave him a shout out at South Lake yesterday as well for that referral. And they said I should hear back within 2 to 3 days. Today is day 3, so fingers crossed.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Fingers crossed all across the board for you. Anyone else? Okay. Today we've got a new item on our agenda. You noticed about the job leads. So Matt, could you tell us about job leads?
Absolutely. Today we have a special guest from Catapult Solutions Group. David Farmer has joined us, and he is a recruiter there, and he's going to tell us about some jobs they're looking for. David?
Yeah, good to see some familiar faces around. Appreciate the kind introduction there, Matt. So
Is that Leighton?
I got Leighton here.
Hey, Leighton, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, guys. We really appreciate it. We hope.
Yeah, hopefully the construction's done soon and we can see you guys more in person.
Yeah, that's just today.
Just today. They really did it to us just for today.
Yeah, exactly. They knew you were coming. So.
Doing our best to keep us apart, Matt. I don't like it.
Next week we'll be back in person.
Well, perfect. We got a bunch of stuff that we've kind of rolled through this morning. We do have some stuff that's not in Texas as well. I know one of the questions you probably get from recruiters is, are you open to relocation? Usually it's a no. I know a lot of people's roots are pretty planted, but it is obviously something that if, especially if relocation is assisted, that's something to kind of keep your eye on. But I'll roll through a couple of these real quick. I'm easy to find. Matt can connect you to me, David Farmer on LinkedIn, if you have any questions about any of this stuff. As far as stuff we have here locally, I know that I have some I have a software engineering manager that's going to be out of the life sciences divisions coming up here within the next couple weeks. And then I have kind of in varied spots across the United States, a lot of loan officers and area managers. So that's pretty cool. And then depending on it, some of these are going to be remote and some of these are out of California, but more on the IT side. I have a graphic designer, I have a PM, 2 BI reporting roles, a technical BA and a non-technical BA. And then 3 marketing PMs that are separate from that original PM. Outside of that, we've got 2 agile BAs that are sitting here that are looking to be going pretty quickly. And then we also have a remote mortgage underwriter, which is kind of a unique role because what they're going to be doing is not so much doing the underwriting, but they are going to be helping with a new loan origination application and be defining the entire risk parameters around that application. So more of like a seasoned expert in the field of underwriting that can kind of be that arm there. If you want to work with your hands, I got some cable technicians as well, but I don't, it's a little hot to be working with cables. So I know Leighton has some stuff too.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for giving us the time. Mine is a much shorter list. So I got one local opportunity here in the healthcare field as a business systems analyst. Also just kind of maintaining all their EHR systems, ERP systems, et cetera, within the hospital system. And I also have an opportunity out of Atlanta as a systems administrator as well, which is a little bit more IT focused, working with iOS devices, Android devices, and kind of endpoint user management.
Yeah. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I also do have some iOS developers available that were just called out this morning. So I do have to get a little bit more clarification on those roles specifically, but one of my sales partners did call that out this morning. So if that's something up your alley, I can get more information on that. I'm just not too well versed in it yet.
Very good. Do
Well,
you have
thank you
anything
so
in
much.
Phoenix?
Most of our stuff in Phoenix. So we actually have an office out of the Phoenix location. They mostly focus on skilled trades. We do like a lot of end step integrators within like these data center and microchip plant construction. So it's a lot of, cable pulling. It's a lot of fabrication. That's most of what our Phoenix market is. Not too much IT out there as far as our book of business goes, but if that construction world, if that chip integration kind of design, ground up construction is something you're interested in, we do have, I believe, some PM roles that might be coming out with a company called MPS, who is a subsidiary of Rosendin. And they might be out of the Sherman area or the McKinney, but those aren't on the books officially yet. So I don't want to get anybody's hopes up with that.
Okay. All right. I just put both David and Leighton's LinkedIn in the chat. If you want to connect with them, if you heard of something that you liked. I also put Catapult Consulting in the chat as well, if you want to look up their company. Guys, somebody in the chat asked if they could see a list. Are all of these listed on your website?
I could, so we just recently changed over to a new tool. We just went to Bullhorn Enterprises for our internal process. So it cleared out all of our job postings. So we're getting those back up. I think if you go to our site right now, there's about 15, maybe 20 jobs up. So we're getting them back up there. But what I'll do personally is anybody who wants one, shoot me a connection. I'll just type up a list and I'll give it to you. I'll just make it easy for you. So that way you don't kind of go peruse through any new sites or anything like that.
All right. If you want to send me the list, I send a follow-up email.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
After every meeting.
Yeah, that'll work.
So if you want me to include that in the blast.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Yeah. And then I should mention the one last thing is, so I will be very soonly transitioning into an account executive role. So obviously I can help out with recruiting and things like that, but I'm going to be specifically focusing on trying to break new Workday business as well. So if you're somebody who has worked within the Workday space or HRIS or HRMS, I'm actually going to be going out to Workday Rising here in a couple weeks to Vegas. So if you're going to be out there, feel free to come say hi. It's always good seeing familiar faces and locals. So if that's also something up your alley, that'll be stuff that I have coming down the pipeline pretty soon as well.
Fantastic. I got two more for you guys. I had a recruiter reach out to me yesterday. That was a referral. Again, networking. And this recruiter is in Fort Worth, and they have a director of IT position for Peak Rentals. The trick here is you have to be on site in Gainesville, Texas, 5 days a week. So not a fit for me, but if you live maybe in Denton or maybe Frisco and you're a little closer, you might be interested. They're in the oil and gas industry. They also had a director of field automation and technology based in Gainesville, but it can be remote. And this person is going to assist, again, oil and gas industry. The field automation and technology part is largely surveillance. They're trying to figure out how to put together that service offering for their clients, so they can go online and, you know, pull up a camera and then see the equipment that they've rented from these guys out in the oil fields. So interesting. I do have job descriptions. When I turn things over to Walt, I will put them in the chat, and I'll also attach them to the follow-up. Back to you, Walt.
All right, thank you much, Matt, and thank you, Leighton and David, for sharing these job leads with us. Appreciate your time here today to help us shorten our job search. Appreciate it very much.
Of course, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you, sir.
All right, let's move on. So we'd like to have you in the chat window enter in some information. Some of you have already started putting that into the window, but we'd like you to put your name. I'd like to include your city. We've added that just to know, because we've got some people that are outside the DFW area. Where are you from? The LinkedIn and our email, I suggest both. Your phone number, the position you're looking for, and if you have target companies, list those, and then hit the return and put that information in the chat. The chat will be shared with part of the information that Matt sends out after this meeting, so that everyone that's a participant that has their email address in the chat will be able to send that information to you. So I'll be glad to have you do that. And so in the meantime, we're also going to do verbal introductions. So we'd like you to unmute yourself. And here's kind of an outline that we suggest that you can follow as far as what you want to say in this introduction. Our challenge today is brevity. We want to be brief in our information that we're giving out today. So, Matt, do you want to control this?
Sure. All right, Janet.
Oh gosh, you would, Matt. Okay. My name is Janet Young, and I am looking for a software application support role. And I am the go-between between the customer and the client in helping them resolve their technical issues. I am looking for contacts at Siemens Digital in Plano, Topalti, which is in Plano as well, and Smith RX, another company in Plano. My name is Janet Young.
Thanks, Janet.
Thanks, Matt.
Patty.
Hi, everybody. My name is Patty Bashy. I'm looking for an account director or business development director at a marketing research company. I help these companies grow their business relationships and also grow the top line sales. I need contacts at Mintel and Sago, and I have contacts at Nielsen and Kantar. My name is Patty Bashy.
Thank you. Kosh.
My name is Kash. I'm looking for a position of Director of Data Analytics. What I do is I convert data to dollars. I take the information and process it, work together with the team, and essentially make sense out of the data and help companies look forward. Pretty strategic, adaptable as needed. One of the companies I'm looking for a contact would be at Frontier.
Frontier
That's one
Communications.
company yeah, Frontier Communications. That's one company I see I get it. I'm matching it, but they somehow they're not able move the needle that can help me out there. That's one company. And I have contacts at Thomson Reuters. And again, my name is Kosh. Thanks.
Thank you, Kosh. Ahmed?
Hi everyone, my name is Ahmed. I'm an IT PM slash Scrum Master. I'm looking to stay in the same industry, preferably targeting government, insurance, or financial companies. I'm in a couple of here in the US, so I don't have much contacts in the US. I'm just got relocated from Canada. If you guys need some Canadian connections, then I do. But other than that, my name's Ahmed. Thank you.
Thank you. Amanda? Going once. Brian Potts?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Potts. What I'm looking for right now is either an operational manager or director role or a general manager role, preferably in a home service field. Contacts that I'm looking for are going to be stuff like, was it Crawford Plumbing and HVAC? And then what I do is I help by strategically looking at the P&Ls of these companies, figuring out what we can cut as far as excess and different ways that we can grow based off of changing our marketing a little bit. In my last role, I was able to increase our revenue by 9.3% in the first year and cut expenses by 15%. Once again, my name is Brian Potts.
Thank you. Deanna? Diane?
Hi, my name is Diane Bednar. I'm looking for a director of retail store operations position. I transform retail environments through innovative strategies and dynamic leadership. I don't have a target company, but I'm happy to connect with anyone. I do have a neighbor at Raytheon, and I'm twisting their arm to try to get them to be kind of a point person for people. Thank you. My name is Diane Bednar.
Thanks, Diane. Enoch?
Hey, good morning, Matt. My name is Enoch Pettiplace. I'm a software engineer specializing in Android. I connect you to your customers through their Android devices. I'm actually looking for a contact at either Progressive or Fidelity. My name is Enoch Pettiplace.
Thank you. Anthony?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Anthony Autry. I'm a senior retail manager / operationist. I help companies drive sales, grow profit at the same time, reduce costs. Anthony Autry.
Thank you. Graciela?
Good morning. My name is Graciela Custer. I'm looking for a digital content manager position. One of my target companies is National Review Institute, and I can help with hyper-organization and timely communication. And again, my name is Graciela Custer. Thank you.
Thank you. Jema?
Morning, everybody. My name is Jema Ball. I'm looking for a director VP level of operations in customer experience, service delivery, or product implementation in DFW. I'm an experienced global operations exec who drives excellence by focusing on elevating the customer experience and optimizing business processes. I need contacts at Rippling and Microsoft this week. I have many contacts in the hospitality industry. My name is Jema Ball.
Thanks, Jema.
Jema?
Jennifer Cox? Oh, somebody have a comment for Jema?
It's me, Janet. Okay, so this is the first time I've been on here. So do we just like send that person a message directly?
Yep. We'll connect separately offline, Janet.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. It's all about networking. Jennifer Cox?
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Cox, currently a caregiver for my dad, seeking a position as a counselor on grief and job search, encouraging and guiding the job seeker through the search with compassion and confidence going into their next role. My target companies are TWC, area counseling services, and headhunting companies in the DFW area. I have contacts in the oil field and gas industry, and I need contacts for TWC, headhunting services, and counseling services. My name is Jennifer Cox.
Thank you, Jennifer. You got that down pat. Nice job.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Thank you.
John Gorman.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. John Gorman. Background is in FP&A and risk management. I am a finance business partner, driving cost efficiencies and delivering actionable insights for high impact projects. I'm looking for finance and project management roles. John Gorman. Thanks.
Thanks, John. Miguel.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Miguel Castillo. I'm in South Lake. I'm seeking a finance VP or director role, coming out of being a finance director at Amazon. Mostly seeking large, Fortune 500 companies, but open to other opportunities of size and structure in the DFW Metroplex. Again, Miguel Castillo.
Thank you. Mitch Birchfield. Naeem.
Hi, hi, this is Naeem. I'm not in front of my computer right now. I will be driving to Hollywood to fix my resume to get some help for that. My background is software development, and my last job was director of software development slash vice president of research and development. My specialization is in healthcare industries, especially in the pharmacy management software and nursing home software. So I'm looking for a job as a director of software development position or program management position at this time. This is Alex.
Okay, thank you.
It'd be good if people could put their last name in their and rename their image so they could have their full name in there, because I can't contact you with only a first name.
Okay.
Agree. Thank you, Stephen. Everyone's bouncing around.
It sounded like William.
How about Nicole Robinson?
Hi, guys. I am Nicole Robinson. I work as an individual contributor in channel sales, national sales.
Nicole, did we lose you?
After all her technical prep, too.
20-something.
Nicole, we can't hear you.
It looks like she's off network.
Yeah, okay.
So
We'll,
I am
come
Nicole
back to
Robinson, and thank
Nicole.
you.
Oh, there she is. Nicole, give us your title again. You dropped out for a while.
Sorry, guys. Could you hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
What's your title again you're looking for? She's definitely having network problems.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back. Peter Watson.
Greetings and happy Friday, everybody. Peter Watson, Services and Project Management Delivery. Looking in for either a remote or Plano and surrounding cities role as a project manager or services delivery in something technological. I've got a long history with telecoms with Ericsson and a couple of other companies. And I have contacts at Ericsson and Verizon, and no target companies this week. Peter Watson.
Thank you, Peter. Big Phil.
Good morning. I'm Phil Elsner.
I'm trying to figure out the word that Walt said he wanted out of us, and the word is brevity. Levity, we've got plenty of. Brevity, not so much. All my degrees are in biomedical sciences. I'm a PMP project manager with many years of experience, mostly in IT. But again, health professions is a great place for me to be managing projects. I grew up in broadcasting and just recently retired from 10 years as executive producer of high school football game broadcasts. But I'm not sure which companies have survived all the consolidations. So I'm still at that point in my job search. Again, looking for healthcare project management PMP level. I'm Phil Elsner. Thank you.
Thank you. Rhonda Sellers.
Good morning. My name is Rhonda Sellers. I'm a certified construction specifier for architects and interior designers, which includes writing and editing specifications content, as well as coordinating specifications and drawings. My name is Rhonda Sellers.
Nola Larson.
Good morning. My name is Nola Larson. I am a Spanish bilingual learning and development specialist who specializes in training. My name is Nola Larson. I don't have any target companies this week.
Okay. Thank you very much. Rick Harrington.
Hello, my name is Rick Harrington. I'm a mathematician and analyst. I provide answers through analysis. In the last company I worked for, I increased company sales by 1.2 million per year through statistical analysis. At the time, I don't have any target companies. My name is Rick Harrington.
Thanks, Rick. Rosina?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Rosina Gallman. I am your Career Tip of the Week host. I'm currently looking for a senior talent acquisition consultant, otherwise known as a senior recruiter position, and I help companies find the right talent to fill their roles. I currently need contacts at Goldman Sachs, Delta Dental, and Walmart Corporate or their Texas home office. Again, my name is Rosina Gallman.
Thank you. Scott Boudreau.
Good morning, everybody. Scott Boudreau, Certified Planning Inventory Management. I'm looking for a job in Central New Jersey, remotely specializing. I'm looking for a supply chain job in Central New Jersey, or remotely specializing in inventory control or production planning. If it has a part number, I can manage it. If it doesn't, I'll create one. Scott Boudreau.
Thank you, Scott. We got two Steves. Steve Sulkin.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Steven Sulkin. I'm a director of process improvement. I help people work together better as an organizational psychologist with a Lean Six Sigma black belt. I'm targeting city block health, and I can help with contacts at Baylor Scott & White. I'm Steve Sulkin.
Thank you, Steve. Steve Rowan.
Hi, I'm a retired .NET developer, and I like coming to these meetings and seeing what's going on out there in the real world. My name is Steve Rowan.
Thanks, Steve. Tracy Harris.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Harris. I'm a senior recruiter at Thomas Edwards Group. We're a small local firm in the DFW area, and we focus on accounting, finance, HR, and IT recruiting. We're located in Dallas, so our roles are mainly here. We do have a couple roles in Houston as well as Austin. Again, my name is Tracy Harris.
Tracy, thank you very much for joining us. Next time we'll include you in the job lead session.
Absolutely.
Tyler Bauer.
Yes, my name is Tyler Bauer. I was looking for a business analyst role, but according to IBM, they're automating that with AI. So I guess I'm looking for an AI engineer role now. I've been taking some courses on that. Just public service announcement. Yeah, they have an IBM Watson business analyst now who could do your job. I help create efficiencies through processes. I'm currently interviewing at a fintech, so maybe FlowServe would also be helpful if anybody has contacts there. I have contacts at Capgemini, although it's been a while, and Nestle. And my name is Tyler Bauer.
Thank you, Tyler. Did I miss anybody?
Yes, my name's Steve Clements. I'm looking for product strategy, design director roles. I specialize in 0 to 1 consumer and enterprise product solution development, everything from workshop facilitation with C-suite clients to concepting and full lifecycle design. I'm looking for contacts at Amazon, specifically within the design and or product strategy area. I have contacts across a variety of industries because I've worked with a lot of them over the years. So someone asked about Walmart, someone asked about Frontier. I might have one for there, and can't remember what the other one was. So my name's Steve Clements.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. Good networking. Anybody else I missed?
Matt, it's Nicole Robinson. I'm not sure if my internet was working when you called on.
It was not. Feel free, jump in.
Oh, okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Nicole Robinson. I am looking for a role in channel sales or national account management. I've got a background in consumer electronics and technology. So I'm looking for contacts at NVIDIA, Microsoft, Dell, Logitech. I'm looking to stay in Dallas, but I've worked remote for the majority of my career, and I'm happy to travel. My name is Nicole Robinson, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Nicole. Anyone else? All right. My name is Matt Keelan. I'm looking for an IT VP or director position. I help companies manage their technology dollars wisely, and I keep hackers out. I need contacts at Hart Hanks, and I can help you with Cherry Beckert or Grant Thornton. Again, my name is Matt Keelan. Back to you, Walt.
All right, thank you, Matt. Appreciate your help there. So greetings to everyone one more time. So Rosina, you're up for the career tip of the week.
All right. Thank you, Walt. Give me just a second.
A second. Time's up.
Wow. All right. Just pulling it up. All right, everybody. Good morning. Again, this is Rosina Gallman. And this week's tip of the week is going to wrap up basically our last 2 months we've been spending in a series on how to write quantifiable accomplishments and achievements that will show your value to an employer. So you want to place these items on and throughout your resume and share as part of your star stories during an interview to showcase how you stand out from other candidates. Well, like I said, this is the wrap up of those this past 2 months. And so today's tip of the week is, excuse me, called 500 action verbs to use on your resume today. So you want to add these vibrant action verbs to your resume to stand out from the competition and increase your chances of getting more job interviews. So what are action verbs? Action verbs convey doing and include words like achieved, designed, and implemented. The best place to use these words is at the beginning of bullet points on your resume. And your resume is typically written in an implied first person without pronouns kind of format. And so this means that you avoid using I instead of starting the bullet points. And so you want to start those with action verbs like developed marketing strategies instead of I developed marketing strategies. So if you're unsure which the action verbs to use, JobScan has a list and they have a variety of different options that you can use. And that's where a lot of this article is coming from. The person who published this article is Robert Henderson. He's a certified resume writer. And this article is from JobScan. It was just released on August the 28th, so it's very recent and relevant on the topic. So now, how to use action verbs on your resume. Power verbs are essential for a strong resume. They can make your accomplishments stand out and grab a recruiter's attention. However, using them effectively can be very tricky. So here's some tips. First, you want to avoid overusing verbs. Many verbs are so common that recruiters might overlook them. Try to replace generic terms like managed or led with more specific and impactful options. Second, you want to use numbers to be specific, such as quantify your achievements whenever possible. For example, instead of saying increased sales, say increased sales by 25%. This provides a clear and measurable impact. Third tip, you want to use active voice. Active voice makes your resume more dynamic and engaging. Instead of saying the project was completed, say I completed the project. Fourth tip, use industry-specific terms. Tailor your language to your field. If you're in finance, use terms like analyzed and calculated. And then the fifth tip, tailor your resume. Customize your resume for each job application. Use keywords from the job description to optimize your resume for the applicant tracking system. Now, does your resume score high enough to get a job interview? JobScan offers a resume score on their website, and all you need to do is first upload your resume. Second, upload the job advertisement, and then third, view the results. So by following these tips, you can create a powerful resume that highlights your skills and accomplishments. And remember, the goal is to make sure that your resume stands out from the competition and increases your chances of getting more job interviews. And as a reminder, Matt will send out this tip guide and other resources to everyone who has their who has their email in the chat. And so I want to say thank you guys for listening to me, and have yourself a safe and fun Labor Day holiday weekend.
Thank you much, Rosina. So let's talk a little bit about the interview success workshop. So let me tell you a little bit more about myself, since I failed to introduce myself at the beginning. So I am Walt Glass, and I am retired. I have over, just a lot of years in IT development, all ranges of roles and jobs with information technology. And inside of that, I worked about 3 years in leadership development. And as a part of that, I worked on hiring and helping teach managers how to really do a good job of hiring, starting with the job description through the hire. Amazingly enough, our company had about 1,000 more job descriptions than we had employees. So anyway, with that background, and then after working 25 years and being laid off, I thought I'd be working in about 3 months, and it took me 15 months. And so I learned that sitting on the other side of the desk was very, very different than on the hiring side. So I developed the Interview Success Workshop. It's a very informal workshop. It's to help us learn how to sell ourselves, since everyone pretty much agrees that we're selling ourselves. Just what does that entail? So I have developed the I am, I do, I help model. I did this back, it's been 24 and a half years since I developed that model, selling who we are, what we do, and how we can help them. And that's the fundamentals. So how do we do that? So the primary objective is to move us from simply responding to a selling mindset and selling those 3 elements as we go through the interview. It is very informal. It is learning. You have to be registered to attend. The shortcut is go to my LinkedIn About section. It's all about the workshop. It tells you how to register. I usually have it on Tuesdays online from 9 to 11 Central Time. and I do 1 or 2 people max at a time. So you interview each other, I take notes, then we go through the 12 basic categories of questions that each of you get one of, and we'll talk about and discuss your responses and give you options, strategies, structures, and of course, my opinion on how we might be able to improve ourselves to get that job. I'd be glad to have you participate in that. So there's the LinkedIn page, and there's a QR code. I'm going to go to the next, and it has the QR code too. And it's a shortcut that'll create an email that you have to just fill in a couple of things to send to me to request registration for the workshop. Well, is it interviewing that we dread when they pick others than us instead? What I suggest we do is practice that rings true. Get that job and bring home the bread.
Nice. Thank you all.
Okay, Jama, can you tell us about the pit crew?
Glad to, Walt. Thanks, everybody. The pit crew, unlike Walt's workshop, is actual. PIT stands for practice interview training. The practice includes your resume and a target job description, real or your dream job. Our goal is to help you cross the finish line, especially if you've been getting interviews, but not the job. We're currently booked through September. Interviews are available via Zoom only on the 4th Wednesday of the month, and the rest of the time, every Wednesday in person at Christ United Methodist Church at Coit and Parker in Plano. You can also learn a lot by observing our interviews and participating and providing your feedback. We're looking for volunteer panelists. If you have hired and fired someone, you qualify. Consider giving back and learning more about the interview process along the way. We can all use the practice. Don't wait. Our motto is practice early and practice often. You see the email address right there on your screen. Send us a message and we'll get your interview scheduled. Join us next week in person on Wednesday at 1 o'clock at Christ United Methodist Church.
Thank you much, Jama.
I have a question.
Yes, Patty.
So I noticed on here, it says it goes from 1 until 2:41 p.m. That's very exact. I'd like to understand how it goes for 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Walt wrote it.
That is a Mark McDonald traditional time that we seem to, but plan on being there till 3.
Good eye, Patty. Good eye.
I caught that, but I'm sorry, Mark McDonald. Okay, explain to me, or where do I look it up? All right.
Yeah.
Pique my curiosity.
When we were meeting in person, I think we were doing so many people at the time that it kind of extended itself from 240. We used to have 4 and 5 interviews a week, and right now Ron Layden, who runs this, is we have 3 interviews a week, so you can come observe and watch an interview as well. So be glad to have y'all participate with that.
But it likely won't go till 2:41 p.m.
No.
Right, and if you land and bring donuts, you might want to stay a little longer to enjoy the donuts.
Yeah.
So since we're not at the church today, we'll have no scheduled lunch for today to meet afterwards. For those of you that come in person, it's great to get together afterwards. We do some networking and more talking and discussing and helping each other after the meeting. And as well as at lunch, be glad to have you come to lunch. We'll do that next week. So we're on to the main event. So we're really glad to have Matt here. Matt is if he would to have the title that I would put him, I'd say technical guru from low level to high level, all the way up. And so as a director of IT, executive, he's also been in a lot of consulting for people, and he would like to really see if he can't stay somewhere for a while in a particular company. But he has developed some things. He gave this presentation several months ago, and by popular demand has been requested to come give these tips and tricks again. And so we'll do part 1 today, with part 2 being next week. If you have a question today that you'd like to ask Matt, just enter it into the chat box And I will be monitoring the chat box for Matt today. So if you have some questions, be glad to pass those along to Matt. Take it away, Matt.
All right. Everyone see technology tips and tricks?
Yes, looks good,
All
Matt.
right. Sounds good. So in preparation, if you have an external monitor, consider displaying the Zoom meeting on it to free up your primary display so you can follow along and implement the tips. Also, it would help if you go ahead and open the Windows Settings app, File Manager, a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet, a PowerPoint presentation, and Outlook or Gmail. If those are all open, it'll make it easier to jump around very, very quickly. While you're doing that, just a couple words. So I collect tips and tricks. I've reused this deck that I used in previous jobs and morphed it into a job seeker thing and added a bunch of stuff. And it's new and improved since last time. I think it was April. It was shown. And so there's some new content. There was a lot of interaction last time. So it took 2 meetings. And again, we'll allow 2 meetings to try and get through it all. So with that, let's jump in. By way of introduction, this is training to provide some useful tips and tricks to make your job search and computing life quicker, easier, and more fun. Emphasis on quicker. We want to do everything we can to have you get through your job search quicker. And this is one way to do it from a technology perspective. It is a hands-on workshop. So obviously you're on your PC, but next week when we're in person, please bring your PC fully charged as well as a smartphone, and we'll have some tables set up so that you have some place to work. Some of these tips are specific to Windows and iPhones, but I'll point out the Mac and Android equivalents where they are known. Shout out to Jema, who helped me go through this and helped me with those Android equivalents. Thanks, Jema. And you can feel free to ask questions during the presentation. You can put them in the chat or you can raise your hand and we'll address them as we go. The contents broken down the tips and tricks into the following categories: Windows, Office, Chrome, smartphone, mobile apps, artificial intelligence, business cards, money savers, and job search resources. I hope to get up through Chrome or maybe smartphone today, and then we'll finish up next week. All right, first tip. Pull up clipboard history in Windows. You do that by right-clicking Start, and then left-click on Settings. Then type in Clipboard. And then in that window, you should see Clipboard Settings.
Let's start over again.
If you don't see Clipboard history is already turned on, turn it on. What this does is, starting with Windows 10, every time you hit Control-C and then hit Control-V, Windows now remembers the last 50 things, I believe, that you hit Control-C on. So you don't have to go back and forth between your resume and that job app that you're filling out in your browser. Where you used to highlight your name, hit Control-C, go to the app, click on the name field, hit Control-V. You can now, from your resume, highlight your name, Control-C, highlight your address, Control-C, highlight your LinkedIn URL, Control-C. Do that for everything you want to copy. Then you go into your target app, and then instead of Control-V, you hit Windows key V. When you do that, you get something like this. This is the clipboard history. And you can scroll down and then just click on the thing, complete with formatting, that you want to paste. It saves a lot of time because now you don't have to go back and forth. I also use this a lot to create contacts. Somebody new will send me an email and I'll highlight their name, address, phone, LinkedIn URL, all of that in the signature of their email. And then I'll go over to Outlook, click on new contact, and then use Window V to paste in their name, address, phone, LinkedIn URL, all of that. You can also pin something to your clipboard. You see these little ellipses here? When you click on that, one of the options is pin. So if there's something that you use a lot that you're tired of retyping, I think I have my LinkedIn URL and my phone number pinned. Then it'll never fall off the list. It'll be at the bottom of this list, but it'll never fall off. So you can always have access to it, so you don't have to go find it and do Control-C on it. Huge time saver. Any questions on that?
Bye.
Someone else had a question?
Sorry, my mistake. I should have muted.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Peter.
Oh, good.
I have a question. I think I saw something where when you paste, you want it to be the format of the destination document instead of the what it normally, just paste as it is. So it would change the format of it. Is there a way to do that?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
It usually, when you paste it in from the clipboard, it includes that formatting.
Right.
Because it's hypertext or rich text, I should say. As you can see, I actually have pictures in here. Here's a whole slide. You can literally have any of this in your clipboard and it'll paste it in. So it has to have that information. But if you do click on something, it might be the last thing that you pasted. So you might be able to do the right click trick, if you know what that is, and then left click on text only.
All right, thanks.
Sure.
Hey, Matt, this
Sure.
kind of reminds me of what happens on our Android devices when we, copy and paste, and then there's a clipboard down in the, associated with the keyboard. Each thing that you want to copy, you're going to want to copy each item individually, correct?
Yeah, you highlight your name, hit Control-C, highlight your address, hit Control-C, and then it'll build this that list in the clipboard.
Right.
And of course, it's in reverse chronological order, right? So
the last thing first.
Exactly. When I'm doing that contact, that Outlook contact, if I go down to that person's email footer, I'll do the last thing first. I'll do address first because that's the last thing in the contact window. And then I'll do mobile phone. And then I'll do LinkedIn URL. And then I'll do company title name. I'll copy them in that order. So when I go over to my contact, new contact, they're in the correct order in the clipboard. Name is first, and then title, and then company.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for that. I didn't know that was there.
Can you, is there a way for you to demo, say, for example, if I give my name contact, I know you have probably my name information, but can you demo so I can see, because see what you're seeing, but it's probably, I'm just asking if possible. Thanks.
Let's see, I have my Outlook closed. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but let's see if I can find something quickly.
Thank you for asking that question, Enoch. I had it in the chat. You beat me to the punch.
Sorry, no,
I'm trying to do this thing hands-on, so I'm trying.
Actually, I do the same thing. If I'm just on my phone, on my Android phone, and somebody sends me, something that says, "Hey, I want you to fill out this application or something," I actually do the same thing. with my Android phone. And when you long press to paste something, you've got an option there that's either paste directly or go to the clipboard. And then I scroll down through the clipboard and kind of, punch stuff in there. And so it's kind of the same thing. That's why I was asking. I wanted to kind of clarify, because somebody might get to their resume and just copy the whole name, address, stuff together, and then expect that to be able to paste into an online application field. And that's a lot of times those spaces are character restricted, and so you'll only get 200 characters, but they won't be the 200 characters that you want.
You got an example there, Matt?
I do. So this is an email I got from Clayton. I'm gonna do his mobile phone first. I just hit Control C. Here's his email address. Control C. Here's his name. Actually, I'm gonna do, he's part of Fort Worth Career Search Network. I'm gonna do that next, and then I'm gonna do his name. Now I'm gonna pull up a new contact window. I'm going to click on the name. Now I'm going to click window V. And you can see his name is now first. Company, WinV, Fort Worth Career Search Network. Email, WinV. There's his email. Mobile, WinV. Scroll down, and you can see I knew the order in which I was going to need them, and so I cheated. I went bottom up. It's that simple. As you can see, that is a lot quicker than going back and forth and back and forth. You guys good?
Good example.
One last question, and then I'm going to shut up. So do we ask question at the end, or can we interrupt because it's time zone? I'm asking this question. I've been doing it, so I know.
You can interrupt, but if it gets a little bit too long, don't be surprised if I say, I'm sorry, we got to move on. Okay? All right. Next tip. Are you tired of Windows hiding your scroll bars? When you are doing research, I know this happens to me a lot. Excuse me. In Chrome or Edge, if you are doing research on a company and you stop on a page, multi-page website, and you are trying to, put your cursor in the scroll bar disappears. And you have to wiggle your mouse to get it to reappear and then click, and then it disappears again. I don't know why Microsoft thought that would be a good thing, or in Chrome, of course, Google, but you can turn that off or on. In Microsoft's infinite wisdom, in Windows 10, it's something you turn off. In Windows 11, you turn it on. So if you're running Windows 10, pull up settings. Again, right click on the start, left click on settings, search for scroll bars. And then the setting in Windows 10 is automatically hide scroll bars. You want to turn that off. But then in Windows 11, it's the opposite. You'll want to find in the settings, always show scroll bars, which I think is a little bit more intuitive, and turn that on. And that'll prevent those scroll bars from disappearing on you and having to wiggle the mouse. All right, bonus context menu. So when you right click on something, that's called the context menu in Windows, and they appear everywhere. I picked on a Zoom chat file. If you've ever looked at one, it's called Meeting Save Chat. If you right click on it, you get a menu that looks like this. But if you hold down the Shift key and right click on it, you get literally twice as many options, which is really handy if you want to do some of these extra things. And this works pretty much everywhere. It doesn't have to be a file. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a file. It can be literally anything. Hold down the shift key and right click if you don't see an action that you want to perform on that file. All right, resetting the display driver. So have you ever been bouncing around between Teams and Zoom and WebEx and whatever else, and your screen goes fuzzy? This happens more to me in the corporate environment, but usually to get rid of it, the only way to get rid of it is to reboot, which means you have to leave your meeting. You can reset the Windows video driver by pressing Control-Shift-Win-B, and you can do it right now if you want. It's 4 keys, so you have to do some gymnastics with your fingers, but it works. And your screen will go black for just a second and then come back. But if you're having problems with your video driver, write this down, put it on a sticky, connect it to your monitor, and you can clear that up, and then you don't have to leave your meeting. All right, so screenshots. We're all in Zooms, we're all doing some networking if there's a presentation. And by the way, I'm going to supply the presentation today. So feel free to take notes, but you don't have to write literally everything down. So I'll include that in the follow-up email today. When you take those screenshots, which is
Matt, you ended up muting yourself.
No, I did.
Or Walt did. Walt doesn't like you today. He muted you.
So all of those snips are now available in the Photos app. So, and I didn't know this till about a year ago. I was snipping, and then pasting all those snips in real time into OneNote. And now you don't have to do that. You can snip, but you don't have to worry about the paste part. You can just take notes, and then after the meeting, you can go into the Photos app, and everything you snipped is in there. To take a screenshot, like I said, Win-Shift-S, or you can press the print screen. And by way of, let's see, there we go, Photos app. This is an app that's built into Windows. Everybody has it. Come on.
While you're hanging right there, Matt, being a developer, I have like 4 screens. And if I use the print screen option, I get this big, long landscape thing. Is there a way to get around that?
There is. So when you do this, I wonder if it'll work here. I just did the Win-Shift-S. You can't see it because it's on my primary monitor, but usually it defaults to an area. So if I click here and I pull down and to the right, it'll get an area. On my primary monitor, there's something at the top, and you can define the snipping mode. And if you click on that drop down, I can change from rectangle to window to full screen to actually freeform. I can actually do a trapezoid or just freehand what it is I want to copy. Do you see that?
Not yet. I was going to try it. Let's see it. So it's Shift window.
Win-Shift-S.
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 And there it goes. So I have a little camera, I have a video, and I have, there's my drop down.
That third drop down, now you can change it from all 4 screens, 1 screen, rectangle, or freeform.
Rectangle, window, full screen, and freeform.
Yep. So back to the Photos app. Here's everything that I recently took a snapshot of. Ta-da! You can tell what I've been doing. Looks like I've been job searching.
Did that start on a certain version of Windows?
The photos?
Yeah.
Not sure when they started putting all the snapshots in the Photos app.
Windows 8.
Windows 8? Okay.
Okay,
I think it's been around a while. So anyway, good to know, especially if you miss something, or you took a screenshot, you don't like it, or you cut something off, you can go back and get it from there. All right. Double and triple click. A lot of people know that you can double click on a word, and this also works on a Mac, by the way. And you can select the entire word, but not everybody knows you can triple click to select a line or a paragraph. And I'm going to pull up my resume. So here's a double click. Now watch what happens when I triple click. I don't know how many times I've tried to highlight, something, and I miss a part of it when it comes to a paragraph. But a double click will do that. And then of course, Control A does all of it. So that's already built in. I use triple click all the time. And guess what? It works everywhere. Anywhere in Windows, web pages, all your Office apps, your browser, it even works on your phone. JAMA, did we figure out if that worked on Android?
I don't think we did. I don't think this one we did.
Would you?
I'm going to test it.
Yeah, create a long text or something with a couple paragraphs and let me know if it'll highlight everything.
Do a long press. A lot of that in Android has to do with how the text is formatted for your text window. So I mean, if I guess if you were on some sort of word processing deal like Microsoft Word or something on your Android phone, it would be different. They would already have it associated with that.
Gotcha.
My note-taking app, I had to write specific code to allow for copy paste, and then additional code to allow for that, for like a long click, a long press, or a double tap or a triple tap.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Keep going, Matt. I'll test it and I'll drop you a note when done.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Microsoft OneDrive. This is also a Mac thing. If you're not using it, you should. It's wonderful. It comes included. Actually, you get 5 gigabytes for free. As long as you sign up for a Microsoft account, your first 5 gig is free. And if you want M365 or my Microsoft 365 personal, that's $70 a year. And this includes all the Microsoft products that you would use on a daily basis. It's basically Microsoft Office plus OneDrive plus, and there's some other things we'll get into here in a minute. It's only $70 a year. So gone are the days where you have to buy Microsoft Office. Remember, it used to be $299, $399, and there was, version 2000, 2011, 2013. I think the last one's 2019 or 2021. Sorry. Don't have to do that anymore. They've changed to a subscription model, and it's got a lot of nice features. The family plan allows you a terabyte of OneDrive space for 6 family members, plus all of the apps installed on 6 different computers, and that's $100 a year. It's really a deal. If you work it out, if you're buying cloud storage and upgrading your Office for everybody in your family, this is obviously cheaper over time. So more about OneDrive. It supports versioning, the 25 versions of every file. It's synchronized to the cloud. So if you put the OneDrive app on your phone, which is free, Now all of those files are available on your smartphone, even on a public computer. Sometimes I won't have my computer with me, phone um, not working. I can actually log into my Microsoft account on somebody else's computer and look something up and save it on their C drive and then log out. Very handy. And if you have the MS Office apps on your smartphone, which are free, you can actually edit all the files on your phone. I don't do it often, but I can actually update a Word document, Excel, or a PowerPoint with the mobile version of those apps on my phone, which is handy from time to time. Handier if you have an iPad, or other tablet. The other thing is files and folders can be shared by sending a link or an email attachment. And you can do this from your PC or your phone. In helping Jeff, I created a folder for this group and I shared it with Walt. And so now we can have one place to go that we can both access, share these files, edit them. It's very, very handy. And it comes with your OneDrive. It's just built in. This works even if the person doesn't have a M365 account. It has a built-in scanner. I use this a lot. The OneDrive app, it's there right at the bottom in the center when you launch it, has a little camera. And so if I need a copy of a receipt, or I'm leaving the doctor's office and I want to just, get a quick copy of the discharge instructions, but then I want to, hand it to them and say, would you put that in the shredder? I can just take a picture of it and take all the, if it's a multi-page, it'll create a multi-page PDF. It's got filters that you can apply. My favorite filter is the black and white. So if there's some gray areas, there's some smudges, or there's a shadow, because I'm holding the camera above it and it's blocking some light, it'll make everything pure black and white. It automatically de-skews it. Then I can choose the name and where I want it to live, what folder on my OneDrive, right on my phone. And then I toss it. It's that simple. Makes my life a lot easier. And there's some OneDrive folders that I share with my family so that we have common access to a lot of different things. Scott's having some fun. Let's see. And the last thing is it allows you to store much more data than your hard drive allows. So if you buy a computer, it used to be, everything was on your C drive, right? And so you had to buy half a terabyte or a terabyte to get everything on there, and then you had to back all that up. With OneDrive, it only pulls down the things that you've used recently in real time. And it'll keep a local copy. If there's something that you absolutely have to have, you can right click and say, keep it on my C drive if you're going to get on a plane and you want to work on something, you want to make sure it's there. But as your hard drive fills up with the things that you're pulling down, OneDrive's smart enough to remove things from your hard drive that you haven't accessed in a long time. So you can buy and save some money on your laptop, get something with only 256 gig hard drive, because OneDrive, even if you've got more files than that, will manage everything for you, still have access to everything, but won't fill up your drive. Any questions on that? All right, speech recognition. So speech recognition is built into Windows. You just have to buy something like Dragon Naturally Speaking to do dictation and actually operate your laptop. You can do both. On a Mac, you can dictate, but it's only in Microsoft Office. And I think it's only Word and Excel or Word and PowerPoint. I don't think it's available in Excel. So that's where you spend most of your time and Outlook. And I use it a lot. This little doohickey here. This is in the lower, I keep it in the lower right corner of my primary monitor and allows me to access it quickly. But from the keyboard, it's Windows key H to launch it. If you click on the gear icon and turn on voice typing launcher, that's what this is. So I keep it up all the time because I use it so much. I don't know about you, but I talk much faster than I type. And so I'll launch that and I will dictate an email and then I'll go back and edit it, fix any correction, make any corrections necessary, and then send it. It's very, very helpful. I once had a accident on a four-wheeler, dislocated my shoulder and couldn't type. And I actually used that thing I mentioned before to operate, not just dictate, but actually operate my computer. And you can do the same with speech recognition. You can say things like new paragraph, tab, smiley face, and Windows will actually pop that into your document. All right. Keyboard shortcuts. Enoch, you're gonna like this. Like your hat, by the way. You probably know about this because you have 16 monitors, but you can use Windows left and Windows right to snap a window to the left or to the right. And that's pretty important if you have multiple monitors, because if I drag this to the right, I can snap it. But if I try to drag it to the left, I have a monitor on the left, and so it's just moving onto that. But if I want to snap it to the left, I can do window left. Boom, there we go. Now, if I do window left again, now it's on the right side of the other monitor. And if I do it again, then it'll be on the left side of the current monitor. And then if I do it again, it'll wrap around and end up on the right on this monitor.
So what's the left and the right button?
Window left, arrow left, and window arrow right.
Thank you.
Yep. Now, if you hold the shift key down, in addition, it just moves the whole window to the left monitor or the right monitor. And it's the exact same size on that monitor. And then Win up arrow maximizes it like that. So clicking and dragging is great, but sometimes you can't get the job done, and these shortcuts help a lot. The other thing I'd like to point out, this happened to Walt just the other day, there's a bug in PowerPoint. If you have an external monitor and you have a PowerPoint up and it's being displayed and your PowerPoint is on the external monitor, and you close PowerPoint, disconnect that monitor, relaunch PowerPoint, sometimes it's on the monitor that doesn't exist. You'll launch it, you'll see it in your taskbar, but you can't see the window. It's on the phantom monitor. You can use Win left to, assuming the monitor's on your right, and get it back onto your primary monitor without having to plug in that monitor again.
That's cool. Because that's
that
a game literally
changer.
happens all the time, all the time.
Weird, right? How come
Yeah.
they haven't fixed that? That's my question. All right. So yes, like you, I have at least one, sometimes two extra monitors, and so moving things around quickly, big help.
So Matt, do you use the three finger swipe on your mouse pad?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I do. I have it set for forward and back in my browser. Yes, Phil.
When you're doing the snapping, you're moving the amount of window that's already visible. Are you able to?
The window that's in focus.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm doing a snap, or especially doing a drag, I'm only seeing a portion of the window that I'm moving to a different position. Is there some function where we can see the entire window even though it's shrunk when we snap it?
I don't think I understand.
If I'm dragging a if I'm dragging a window on my screen, and then it's going to wind up showing me only a portion of what's there if I have two different windows exposed on one screen. Sorry, I'm not speaking it very well. But is there a way to shrink a moved window so we can see the whole thing even though we can't read it easily because it's shrunk? We can keep an eye on what's in the window. If I'm not making sense to anybody, I guess it'll be a show and tell
are
next
you,
week.
I'm sorry, just making sure I'm understanding it correctly. So when you are moving a screen between two windows, a portion of it is in one window and the other portion is in the other, right?
Other
Is
way
that what
around.
you're referring to?
Other way
Okay.
around. I have only one screen, let's say,
Okay.
and I want to have two halves.
Okay.
So
How do I
Phil,
see all of each?
go to the top up there where you see Matt's pointer up at the top of that actual deal.
Mhm.
If you go to the top of that window and pick that, pick that whatever it is up, if it's Microsoft Word, you only have one screen, yes?
Correct.
So if you'll pick up the whole Microsoft Word and just move your pointer, you'll press and hold it and then move your pointer all the way to one side or the other. It will create this same kind of thing. And it will allow half of that screen to be Microsoft Word. And if you want to put your PowerPoint on the other side, then you can open PowerPoint and it will put it on the other half of your window, of your screen. So that you've got two windows available that you're seeing. I'm not sure how to do that with the keyboard shortcuts.
So Phil, are you looking at my PowerPoint on the right?
Yes, I am. Mhm.
And so I snapped it. I just drug this over to the right and
Okay.
I released my mouse and it's on the right. And then Windows is smart enough to go, oh, you probably want one of these things on the left. And so I can choose like the Photos app. If I click on that, it'll put that on the left.
There it
this what
is.
you're talking about?
No, if you'll back up a couple examples, then you'll be able to see what it is that I'm asking about. Yeah, right there. Okay. No, back up. Back to what we were just seeing a moment ago. Yes. Nope.
Okay.
Phil,
I think we're going to have to take that offline.
It's going to give you that side over there just because it thinks you want to do something on the other side of your screen.
If I don't know how to describe what you had up there a moment ago.
Let's just do a personal Zoom later, and
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
right
move
there
on.
is what I'm talking about. Are you able to make the entire left side of that visible, even though it's in smaller size? See from left to right on the entire where it says AE group, for example. That whole thing. Can we get that so we can see what's? Can we see all that even though it's shrunk on the left side?
Yeah, that's what one arrow will do. Watch.
But I'm not seeing the entire line under the words AE group. Go to the right about an inch.
I don't know what you mean. We need to
Go
move
to
on.
the right about an
So give me a call later.
Okay.
All right.
Well, all right.
Okay. Covered that. So a little bit about backup. No technology presentation would be complete without it, but I'm going to show you how to do it cheaply. So first, I want to point out that OneDrive is not a backup. It's a sync. It only keeps files you delete for 30 days. Most backup systems keep them forever. That's the big difference. Microsoft calls OneDrive a backup, but it really isn't. There's a recycle bin on your computer, and if you delete something, it stays in the recycle bin forever until you empty the recycle bin. But on OneDrive also has a recycle bin. And if you delete something from OneDrive, it only stays in that recycle bin on OneDrive for 30 days. So I recommend that you use OneDrive because it's got a lot of cool features, but I also recommend that you also have a backup. And there are a lot of cloud backup solutions out there. I recommend cloud backup. I used to do the, backup the CD and tape and diskettes. Yes, I'm that old. Back in the day, but that doesn't protect you if your house burns down, if the copy is on-prem. Putting things in the cloud is great because it happens instantly. It's always there. It also has versioning, and it's also available on your phone. And if your house burns down with the laptop, you can go buy a new laptop, log into your account, and pull all your files down, and you're back in business in no time. So here's the cheap part. I don't recommend one or the other. I just happen to use iDrive. I've used it for more than a decade. And the first 10 gigabytes is free. I don't know how they do that. I think they're just hoping that you'll outgrow the 10 and then start to buy it. But even 100 gig is only $3 a year. It's cheap. 500 gig, $10 a year. 5 terabytes, only $100 a year. I have this plan, and so I use it to back up all the PCs in my house and my son, and maybe somebody in another household that might be a family member cannot confirm or deny, and we split the cost. iDrive doesn't care, even though they can see that they're backing up files from 2 or 3 different IP addresses. Doesn't care. So you can get this 5 terabyte, split it 2-3 ways. Now it's like next to nothing. And here's the thing: it has a iPhone and Android app, and so kind of like OneDrive, I can see everything. If I can't see it in OneDrive, I can see the files in the iDrive backup app. And you're sitting down, it'll back up my phone. It's part of it. So if you're not already paying for iCloud to back up your phone, you can use this tool to back up your smartphone. So everyone's going to back up their computer today, right? I state your name, promise to back up my PC. I can't tell you how many times I've had to help people who swore after that dinner party that they were going to back up the computer, don't, and then bring me their computer and say, help me get my family photos back. So one more thing before we move on. When it comes to restoring files, the old spinning drives that we used to have, they fail slowly, usually. They won't boot. But 100% of the time I was successful in taking the hard drive out, putting it in a USB dock, and getting somebody's files back. In this day and age of solid state drives, I have a 0 success rate. When a solid state drive fails, it fails catastrophically. There's no getting your files back. So while they're great, they're light, they use less power, so your battery lasts longer in your laptop. Once they're gone, they're gone. So even more important to use OneDrive and a backup solution to get that data off your local drive. Any questions on that?
Yes, sir. It's easy to get all the data backed up. How about knowing when you have a motherboard crash or something that's totally catastrophic for the computer, which programs you have to purchase again and reinstall and reload so you can use the data that you've saved?
You don't have to repurchase programs.
Okay. But how do you know what you have to do to basically clone what you used to have on a new piece of hardware and keep going?
That's a long conversation, but
well, I've never heard a short answer, so you're
yeah.
consistent
So
with
basically, if you buy a new computer, you're going to log into your Microsoft account. It's going to pull down your Windows settings, and then you're going to pull down your Office. if you are an M365 subscriber. And then you're going to log in. If you use OneDrive is going to sync automatically. If you have iDrive, you're going to log into that, pull down your image, and then restore your PC that way. But
Thank
you
you,
don't
sir.
have to repurchase anything. Now, there's a few nasty companies that keep track of the number of times that you, installed something, and then eventually it'll say you've installed it too many times. And iTunes is one of them. Apple
Yes,
iTunes.
again.
It keeps track, and so once in a while I've had to call Apple and say, can you knock down my 5 installs back down to 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever it is at the time. Another one is Adobe. Adobe is horrible at keeping track, and so sometimes you'll have to call them. If you are switching computers, you can deauthorize applications before you move to the next one, and it'll decrement that count for you. But if you just, the hard drive dies, the laptop dies, then you have to call them if you hit the limit. All right.
Hey, Matt,
Sir.
I've got a file, because I don't use 365. I actually purchased a version of Microsoft Office, because I only use like 2 or 3 things out of there. I don't use the whole group.
Right.
But I've got a file, and like you're saying, I've saved that file to one of my drives, one of my cloud drives, and that file has my the key that you have to enter to get the deal back.
Yep.
So if you were to lose, if I were to lose my laptop now, I could go get a new one. As you say, log into that deal, get that key, plug in that key, and download the new, the existing. Obviously, it won't be new, but it'll be the one that I was using prior.
Yeah, the 2019 or 2021. Yeah, right. I used to do the same thing before the subscription came along, and it was a big help. So Phil, just to edit my answer to you a minute ago, if you purchase software and it came with a product key, you do need to keep that key off your computer. Print it, put it someplace just in case you lose your hard drive. All right. MS Office, next section. This is my favorite Office trick. Everyone's familiar with the GIFs and fun things you can do, emojis on your phone. But a lot of people don't know it's built into Windows now. So pull up an email, new email window, and hit Win period. In Windows 10, you'll see something like this. In Windows 11, they have a more elaborate version. Windows 10 is emojis only, pretty much, and some symbols. Windows 11 has GIFs. Check this out. I used Win period because I'm on Windows 11. Clicked on GIF, and I inserted the blinky guy into this PowerPoint. Also, you remember the clipboard history we talked about a minute ago? I can click here and access all my clipboard history in the same window. It's all here. I got emoticons, I got GIFs, I got symbols, I got my clipboard history. It's awesome. And it literally works everywhere. Outlook, Office documents, even Gmail, even browser forms, Google Apps, which is now Google Workspace, works everywhere. So now you can have a lot of fun. As Walt knows, much to his chagrin, I'll reply to some of his emails with some GIFs like you would, with a text on your phone. You can now do that in email and Office documents. It's a lot of fun. All right. Here's a huge time saver. Outlook searching, and this also works in Gmail. Thanks, Jama. At the top of your Microsoft Outlook or your Gmail, there's a search bar. You can enter filters and keywords and quickly find an email rather than scrolling through and trying to search them. You can put in from : Steve, and it'll show you everything you got from Steve. or from colon and a domain. So everything from that domain will show up, and you can combine them. I needed to find the other day the email that I sent to Chris entitled lunch invitation. So everything that I sent to Chris that includes the phrase lunch invitation, boom. I'm only going to get one hit, right? Super quick. You can also specify the subject. This is the same as the subject. If I put in lunch invitation, that's going to search both the subject and the body of the email. I can put in a date, and I can say just yesterday, or I can actually give it the date. And ranges before, after, and or not are supported. So in Outlook, it looks right here. So to Rick, it includes the word resume. There's also some additional things when you initiate a search that way. Outlook will immediately go from the Home tab to the Search tab and give you all these other options. You can change the mailbox. You can include the deleted items. I always do, but you can turn that off. Very, very helpful. There's also, it's kind of dim, but if you know it is an email that has attachments that you're looking for, you can click on that, and then you'll filter all of the current list by only emails that have an attachment. And when you're done searching, you simply close search and it'll take you back to the Home tab. Any questions? All right. Office signatures. I love office signatures. I have 9. Why? Saves me time. I have a lot of personalities. So I have a transition email signature, and that's what I've selected here. If you have more than one, when you open a new email, you probably have one, but you probably only have one. All you do is right click anywhere on the signature and this pops up, and then you can instantly change to one of your other signatures. I'm the Crime Watch captain for my block, and so I have one for that. It says, it includes my wife, and you know, it's pretty big, you know. Here's another email. I forward emails from the police department, so it says, you know, here's another email from the police department. Here's the non-emergency number. You know, your Crime Watch captain's Matt and Tammy Keelan, all that kind of stuff. I have another default. I have a default that contains my cell only, not my email, if I don't want that to go out. I have an FYI. It wipes it out and it's just FYI. Because sometimes you just want to forward something and just say FYI. Now I don't have to delete it and type it in. My side hustle is KPG. So I have one for that. I have a none. Because sometimes I don't want a signature at all, and it just blank, and then I can forward it. So all you have to do is go into your Microsoft options and go into where you create the signatures, knock yourself out, create a bunch, because in the end, it'll save you a lot of typing or a lot of copying and pasting.
You're saying just right click, and because
you
I think it's opening up.
Yep, you right click on your email signature, and all the other signatures that you've created will show up in a drop down.
If you already have a signature.
If you already have one.
I have 2 signatures, but I'm only seeing when I right click on the signature, emoji paste as image.
Okay, hit me up after, and we can do a screen share and I can help you out.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, more Office.
Matt, just to say on the signature one, if you drafted an email and you go to the signature in the toolbar, it'll show you the different options and it'll just change it for you.
Yes, you can get to it from the toolbar as well.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
This is just, you know, another, it's quicker for me just to right click on my face.
Maybe I need to change some setting.
Pardon?
Maybe I need to change some setting, because I can do it from the signature. That's how but not when I right click.
Okay.
But like I said, we'll figure it out. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, double clicking on Format Painter. I think everybody knows about Format Painter. It's in all the Office documents. And that allows you to quickly and easily copy and paste the format of something, not the text, just the format. But if you double click on it, you can do it over and over and over. Instead of having to highlight something, click Format Painter, and then paste the format. If you want to do that more than once, if you double click on Format Painter, it'll stick. And then you can highlight as many times as you need. And then you hit Escape or Format Painter again to turn it off. Big time saver if you're doing a lot of format pasting. Alternatively, you can use Control-Y to repeat the last action in Office apps. Control-Y not only works for this, it works for just about anything in any Office document. You have to try Control-Y. It's huge. And I see Patty, she uses Control-Y a lot. Yeah, it's a big thing. It just repeats whatever you did over and over and over.
Control-Z will undo what you just did.
Yes. Yep.
It's just opposite of each other, Z and Y.
Yes. Yep. All right. Do you sometimes lose your work because you don't remember to click save often enough? So if you're using Microsoft OneDrive and you're editing a document, they usually get automatically saved every time, every few seconds, it'll get saved. But if you're not saving something on your C drive, we've all been in a situation where our computer locks up, our Office locks up, and then you lose some work. By default, Office apps save your work every 10 minutes. When I get a new computer, the first thing I do is I go into here and I save it to 1 minute. So I'm constantly saving. I never lose more than 60 seconds worth of work. So you have to do this in each Office app. But if you go into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, click on File, Options, Save, and then you change the Save Auto Recover information from 10 to 1. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Another Office tip. If you're not sure why your pasted text behaves differently in different circumstances, it helps to know that formatting in Word is stored in the paragraph mark. Have you ever been working on your resume and you paste something in, or you just hit delete, you just hit delete one time, and all of a sudden everything gets screwed up? If you turn on the paragraph mark, which is this guy right here, turn that on, you'll see a dot where every space is, you'll see the paragraph marks, you'll see section breaks, page breaks, and then you can avoid accidentally deleting that paragraph mark. That's the trick. So everything in this paragraph up to the period and country is stored there. So quick example.
I'm probably going to show my age. Do you use WordPerfect? Is that what it is?
Wow. I've not heard that word in 10 years.
WordPerfect.
Yeah. So if I click here, you see that paragraph mark. Things can get messed up. And if you, let me make this bigger for you. If you highlight a line, it includes a paragraph mark. And so the formatting is going to follow. But if I want to leave that alone, if I hold down the Shift key and hit left arrow, look what happens. I'm no longer highlighting that paragraph mark. And so if I move it or paste something in place of it, the pasted text won't inherit that. It'll be pasted in as it was in the source document.
I bet you it doesn't work. I bet you it doesn't work in Lotus Notes either.
Oh, here we go. No.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Oh, nice. Nice. Carrie is the OMG. Oh, that's funny. All right.
Well, she's hiding.
Oh, is that it? So more about the keep text only option. You know that you can right click and then left click on keep text only if you don't want the formatting to come. But if you don't want to do that constantly and you want to set some defaults, you can do that. If you pull up Word, click on File, Options, and Advanced, and then scroll to the Cut, Copy, Paste section, you can select the default paste behavior for a lot of different instances. So if you're pasting within the same document, I want to keep the source formatting, and that's me. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. If you want to paste between documents, I always want to keep the text only 100% of the time. So I can set the default, keep text only. When I'm pasting between documents, when the style conflicts, use the definition style. Pasting from other programs, keep source formatting. So each one of these in each case can be set individually, which saves me a lot of time. Oh, and Control-Shift-V is a kind of a shortcut to paste without the formatting. So instead of right-clicking and then left-clicking text only, Control-Shift-V will do the same thing. All right, so quick access toolbars. I love quick access toolbars. Saves me a lot of time. I call Excel right-click hell. You have to right-click in Excel to do really anything. So I set up all these things so that I don't have to right-click. I think save and save as are there by default, but I added the rest. This is page setup, and this is kind of the order in which I use them. And then I have print preview, and then I have quick print, and then I have insert row, delete row, insert column, delete column, and spell check. Without this, I am right-clicking. I'm trying to find the spell check button. It saves a lot of time. So here's a
default is just save and then forward backward.
What?
The default is just the save button.
Oh, just save. That's it.
It's just save. Yeah, you have to add save as in order to be able to change the name of the document.
Oh, gotcha. So now instead of right-click, delete, I highlight a row, and delete. Boom, gone. So that's just saving one click, but in my lifetime, it's millions. All right. And again, you can create one. You can create a quick access toolbar in every Office app. And in Microsoft Outlook, you've got different windows. You have the main window, and then you have the new email window, and then you have the reply to an email window. Each of those has its own quick access toolbar. So to access it, you click on this little down arrow that's always at the end, and then you just click on the ones you want to add and hit add, and then you can change the order of them. And once they're set up, it'll change your life. I promise you. I am so addicted to them. I back them up. I know where they're stored on my computer. And so I back them up to iDrive. And when I get a new laptop, I pull them down, and they're all in one folder for everything. When I pull them down, they just instantly reappear. I don't have to set them up again. Questions on that? All right. Modifying the ribbon. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but in addition to the quick access toolbar, you can change the ribbon using the same drop down. You can modify the ribbon and change things. One thing that bugs me about PowerPoint is somewhere along the way, Microsoft got rid of the slide master button in the home tab. They hid it somewhere. I don't know where. I use it all the time. And so I put it back. So Slide Master is now in the Home tab. I won't go through all these steps, but on your own time, since I'm supplying the deck, here are the 5 steps that you use to add a button to your ribbon. All right. To quickly open and close the ribbon, you can double click on the Home tab. You can actually click on any tab, but the Home tab is where I usually do that. You can double click a dialog box option to select it instead of selecting it and closing the box. So for instance, in Excel, if you right click a cell, left click insert, and then double click on entire row, you can, what I should say is you can double click on entire row instead of clicking it once and then clicking OK. It saves you a click. But every Excel session, if you remember that, is going to save you, 10, 20 clicks. And again, over your lifetime, it's millions, right? So just know that, and this works everywhere. You don't have to, in that last dialog box where it has OK, you don't have to click the selection and hit OK. You can just double click on the selection and move on. OneNote, like OneDrive, if you're not using it, start now. OneNote is the note-taking app that's free in Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android. It integrates with Outlook. And I'm going to show you that because that is the coolest thing. So let's pull up today's meeting. So here's the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. I'm going to right click, I'm going to open it. And of course, wrong window. So here's today's meeting. Let's say I want to take some notes in today's meeting. I can click right here on send a OneNote. If you have Microsoft 365 or a purchased version after, I think it's Office 2013, this should appear automatically. When I click on send a OneNote, I can share notes. I'm going to take notes on my own. It's going to launch OneNote, and I can put my notes in any of these notebooks. I'm going to put it in my transition tab in my personal notebook, and boom. Check this out. So here's all my notebooks. Here's all the pages in my notebooks. And here is my new page, and I'm ready to hit bullet and type in note 1, note 2. And it automatically puts it at the bottom. It puts the meeting date and time, the location. If I want to open the Outlook item, I can click here and it'll expand it and show me everything. It'll show the participants. So I go out here and I, put notes next to each. Oh, he's the CEO. Oh, he's the CFO. And just start. And the cool part is this is searchable. All pages, all notes right here. I can put something in and it'll search across everything. I can put one note on my phone. All of this is available on my phone. I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting in a meeting with a client and they say, what did we decide in that meeting? And so I can pull it up instantly and blow their mind. It is my memory. I'm also a list person. So I have lists in my personal OneNote for everything. Purchase, what I'm going to buy next time I go to Home Depot. I'll add it on my phone. Oh, I got to remember that. And then when I go to Home Depot, I just pull up my list, and that's my shopping list. Is electronic, and I have little boxes in front of each thing. And so here's my list. Oh, I got that bird seed. I can click it while I'm in the store. Boom. Great stuff.
We got to start wrapping
audio.
up. We got to start wrapping up, Matt.
All right. It converts handwritten text. It's like a 3-ring binder if you haven't used it. A notebook, sections and pages. The analogy is it's a 3-ring binder, and you can have as many notebooks as you want. And I can share my notebooks with my wife. I have my personal one, but then for our side gig, I created one that we share. Walt shared one with me to help facilitating these meetings. Even text and pictures is searchable, which is great. Those, when you're in a meeting and you screen print and you put it in your OneNote instantly scans those images, and if it finds some words, it makes it searchable. And when you paste text from a website into OneNote, it automatically tags the text at the bottom with the URL you pasted it from. So if you want to go back to the web page, you can very quickly. All right, pinning documents within Microsoft Office. I chose Excel, but it works on all of them. If you open it up, the first thing you see is recent. But if you hover, and I don't know why Microsoft makes you hover, it should just be there. But if you move over to the right, you'll see this pin appear. If you click it, then the next time you can go in here and you can click on pinned, and it'll show you everything that you pinned. And so the things that you open up all the time are instantly accessible. All right, last office tip, in Word, Excel, you can highlight some text, press Shift F3, and you can toggle that selected text between lowercase first caps and all caps. And if you're working on a PowerPoint, I had a partner at a company once say, I want you to follow the company standard. Instead of title case, I want you to do first caps. And I had to do that to 150 slides. This trick let me do it in 5 minutes. Imagine having to do it manually. Crazy. Good tip. All right, Chrome. How much time I got, Walt?
It's 11:27. We got a few things to cover to finish.
Okay, all right. This has been great. I think we'll pick up with Chrome next week. And just as a reminder, where are we at? Yeah, we're going to hit Chrome. We're going to hit smartphones and talk about some mobile apps, AI, some custom business cards, money savers. I'll show you how to save some serious cash with your tech. And then the job search resources, which is like 10 slides of just URLs that I've collected during my job search, sorted by category. Good stuff. All right, back to you, Walt.
All right. So we'll go back. So just a few things to wrap up today. Great stuff. I'm gonna have to go back through the video because I wasn't able to capture all of it like I wanted to, but there's some really great tips in there that apply to my world as well. But I'd like to make you aware of careerdfw.org, careerusa.org, 2 websites that Jeff Morris founded and has not been maintaining since he's been out for the last 6 months, but we'll get back to that as he improves. But there's some great things on there, particularly the calendar feature. And this is what I want to just show you right now is you click on the calendar feature and it will show you some groups that are meeting. A lot are online, some are hybrid, and some are in person. But you can check those. They are all color coded. You could go look at the color codes to see if you want to separate any, or you could select all. And there's also an agenda view. And so if you hit the agenda view, it'll come out by day. I'm still, there's a lot of stuff that Jeff has set up. This stuff automatically comes out. And so it's pretty clever, but nonetheless, this is a good way to go through. You can click on any one of these and it'll give you details, contact, URLs, emails, stuff like that to see about, any of the groups that you might be interested in on the calendars. There's also a Career USA channel on YouTube. If you click on that channel, it'll bring you to here where you click on playlist and it'll show you these playlists. And Jeff has them categorized by different topics. You can see the different topics across. You don't want to click on the icon. You want to go down and click on each one and say view full playlist, because if you click on an icon, it'll start playing that particular video. But when you do that, you'll get a list. This is a searchable list as well. And so you can see the recent things that Matt added to YouTube. It took us a while to figure out how to upload our videos to YouTube. So he spent an afternoon catching up one day, putting all these back out there. So you can see this. You click on.
And there's ChatGPT from last week.
Yeah, there's the ChatGPT from last week with
Thanks for
Rusty.
updating this slide.
Yeah, so I thought I'd put something recent up there today. And they usually, the topic usually starts about 30 minutes in, after the all administrative and announcements at the beginning. So what's coming up on next Tuesday? LinkedIn. There's a series of speakers that speak on LinkedIn. Patty Bashy has volunteered to lead that session for Jeff, and Terry Sullivan's going to be the speaker. It is a fire hose presentation, and it is not recorded, because this is how Jeff makes his living, is doing sessions with LinkedIn. But he's gratefully given us some information and also some tips, and gives you some links that you can go to that also will help you with your LinkedIn profile. So Wednesday is the interviewing Wednesdays. It is in person, except for the fourth Wednesday of the month, but you do get a free interview. And you can also observe, okay? So send your resume job description to dallaspitcrew@gmail.com, and you can get on the list to get interviewed. He is booking out several weeks in advance. So practice early, practice often is the Pit Crew motto. So sign up to come do that. Be glad to have you participate. There are several people on the participating today that are served as panelists on the Pit Crew. We're always looking for panelists as well. So what's going to happen in the coming weeks on Fridays? Well, we'll do part 2 of the tips and tricks. So come in person, bring your laptop, bring your phone. We're going to set up some tables and kind of allow you to maybe hook up some power and stuff so that you can do things and try it just like you did today. The next week, Don Namath's going to come back and speak on Networking 101. And then on 9/20, if you haven't heard Jeff Crowley, it's been a while since Jeff has talked. His story about his job search has some lessons learned for us. And I will guarantee you that you will enjoy Jeff's story. The whole presentation is just a long story about how he went through and done some things. You will very much enjoy that and get some good tips and some outside the box thinking for job search as well. So be glad to have you come. Well, that's it for today. Thank you all for participating. I'll give you about 15 seconds to save the chat window if you want to do that. You can also, Matt will save the chat window and he'll send that out. So you're going to get an email if you have your email address in your chat window. You will get an email and it'll have a copy, a link to the video. It'll have a copy of the chat window, and it'll have a copy of the career tip of the week. Am I missing anything, Matt?
I'm also going to attach all the job leads that you heard about today.
Okay, the job leads today. All right, so you get all that coming up in email. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Everyone have a great long weekend.
Have a great long weekend.
Yeah, it's a long weekend.
Everybody stay well. Thank you.
For us job seekers, it makes no difference.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers, everybody. Have a good one.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.